Hey everyone, it's your girl Chris, and welcome to Between the Wickets, a conversation series where I step onto the pitch to explore the lives and stories of the professional players who live and breathe the game. Let's welcome today's guest, Navin Bidaisee. Hey Navin, how are you?
I am good. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. Good to have you. Let's start with your roots in Trinidad and Tobago. What role did cricket play in shaping your early life, and how have you embraced that responsibility to represent not only your identity, but your family and the community on the field?
Yeah, I think it's mainly due to my dad. He played cricket when he was younger, growing up and stuff. I think he played with the likes of, Brian Lara and these guys. So ever since he's always, as soon as I was born, he put a bat and a ball in my hands. And yeah, I think that's where it started. And like he couldn't really fulfill his destiny to play at a higher level, so that's why he ensured that I was able to.
I love that. In a sense, continuing a legacy and fulfilling a dream that's not only yours, but your dad's as well.
Yeah, for sure. I tell everyone, I'm trying to live out his dream for us and, for our family and stuff like that. So, that gives me motivation to do what I do also.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I love that because you're a part of this new generation, your dad ultimately gets to live vicariously through you, and witness just the changes of West Indies cricket and things that may be happening now that weren't happening then.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Now you've delivered with both the bat and the ball in many key moments. Do you personally identify as a batting all-rounder or a bowling all-rounder, or does it really depend on the match situation?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I like to think myself as 50-50. Some days I'm better with bat, some days I'm better with the ball. In the game today, our all-round ability is always, wanted and desired. So I've always, ever since I've grown up, I always try to, be that all-rounder that any team could depend on me with the bat or with the ball. So obviously in different situations, you would have to, dig in deeper with the bat, come better with the ball. So it honestly depends on the game. And, I'm just happy that, most games I'm able to do well with both. So
Absolutely. And I think having you is so crucial because you contribute with both bat and ball and you assess situations quite well as well. Now, your CPL debut during this past summer, it was electric with the St Kitts and Nevis Patriots. And I know that if you had the choice, you would have played with Tobago Knight Riders. But you had a half century right out of the gate. What was that moment like for you? And how did that set the tone for the season?
yeah, I think it was amazing. I would not have expected to have a debut like that. It would have been a fairy tale if I had got any team over the line. But I'm even though I'm from Trinidad, I'm really grateful to St. Kitts and the franchise for having me, for selecting me, and believing in my ability, and giving me that chance to make my debut and play. So let's say it was amazing. At first going out there was a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure, lights on you, crowd all around, and but eventually, like, I just keep taking deep breaths and just thinking to myself, it's all or nothing, you can't lose, you're already out here. Just swing for the hills, basically. And
Yeah,
it worked out, but just couldn't get the team over the line, which was the sad part, but still grateful.
yeah. And those things happen. I did see you in the breakout league, and the fact that CPL, when I spoke with Jeremy Gordon about this in the previous episode, CPL really offers such a great platform to see stars like you in the making, and a part of the next generation to get that opportunity to play with senior players.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was a really great initiative by Cricket West Indies and the heads to have the breakout CPL. Cause that's where most of us got discovered. So without that, I don't think, I would have been where I am today. So really grateful for that initiative that they had.
Yeah, same. And I know audiences and young aspiring cricketers as well can look to you guys and hope for the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Now you recently earned your maroon cap, which is a dream realized for so many. What did that mean to you to make your T20I debut for the West Indies against Nepal? And what's been your biggest learning curve since stepping into the international arena?
Yeah, I think growing up, it's always like you always tell everyone, I want to play for West Indies. Every time you write down on a piece of paper, what's your goal? Obviously, the first thing you write, I want to play for West Indies. Everybody keeps back in my hometown keep asking me when you play in the West Indies, when I was here playing for West Indies, and like I just keep telling them, just give me a few years, stuff like that, just trying to give them hope. But who would have know that it really did manifest, and I really did get that chance. It's amazing, honestly, a dream. You know, I honestly didn't expect it at this point in time, but God's timing is everything. So really grateful that it happened. And the um right now I would try to try to get back selected. It's not like I got picked for West Indies and that's it. So
Right.
now it's time to keep enhancing myself and keep trying to get back into the team. And I think my biggest learning curve really was it would be to like always to be adaptable and adapt to conditions. Every venue would be different, every pitch would be different, opposition would be different. So, these guys, they put a lot of emphasis on analysis. So, before you play the game, they already know what you're coming with.
Right.
So, they already know how you bowl, you know, your speeds, your aerials, and these things where you score your runs. So, it's important, like, for me personally, to always be ahead and try to always keep studying opposition and, stay ahead as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. That's important. And like you said, to get back in the team and continue elevating your skills, and constantly adapting and being flexible. That's the reality of it. If you're one tone, it doesn't work all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's incredible. You're still early in your career, but it's
Yeah.
evident that you've made such a crucial impact and a long-lasting impression. I saw that you recently got signed for the Dubai Capitals,
Yeah.
um, which is very exciting. What's your perspective on the current state of West Indies cricket and the role that emerging players like yourself play in shaping the future of West Indies cricket?
Yeah, I think it's a very heavy question to be honest. Um I think the world, as you hear, the world needs West Indies cricket. Like we add a sort of spice, a sort of element of uniqueness and flair. So I mean I think honestly once we just keep being consistent and adapting, I think that's probably one of our problems, like adapting to different conditions and stuff like that. But to be very honest, I think the talent pool is great. These guys are very talented and very professional players. So I think once, they just keep being in the right state of mind and just working along with those in charge and stuff, we should be fine. I mean, we're kind of a bit down right now, but I don't think we're out. So this
Yeah, I
time
mean,
will tell.
you guys are human as well. People also forget that, and it does take a lot on your mental health, but there is so much potential. And like you said, the world does need West Indies cricket. So um, you guys aren't out, but there's just there's a lot of camaraderie, and it's evident that you guys back each other, and we hope to see more of that. And you, as you know, an emerging player, you're so crucial to the future. How do you feel about carrying the legacy forward, especially coming from Trinidad and Tobago, where we've seen so many legends come out of that region?
Yeah, I think in everything there's always a sort of responsibility on your shoulder, especially carrying. something such as West Indies cricket on your back. You know, there's always that expectation. But I think personally, once you try to just fulfill your role and play your part in that team, you know, there's 11 players. So once you zone in and hone in on your part and you come good and, you know, clutch in your moment, and I guess once the others do the same, I think everything will come together. You know, sometimes you will have to kind of pull for one player. He might not have a good day. So that's just part of it. I think once you personally try to be good and efficient enough, I think that in turn would help the team and then you'll get the results that you want.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. And it's such a beautiful perspective on that as well. Um, we're going to switch gears to a quick fire round. No pressure. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. What song is usually blasting through your headphones before a game?
Um, there's a lot of different ones. Depends on my mood. I think weirdly enough, I listen a lot of Massacre from Jamaica, you know,
Okay. Oh, wow.
dancehall.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, any sort of massacre, you know, I think it kind of gets me in a mood to, you know, go out and be aggressive and stuff like that.
I like that. You get to build your ultimate T20 team. Which three legends, past or present, are you picking first?
Um, I think I'd stick to more recent era, you know, Nicky P, Puran,
Mm.
one of the greatest to ever pass through T20 cricket. Even Sunil Narayan, being a bit biased by picking my Trini
Yeah.
teammates, but and I guess if I have to go out the box, I've always liked Trent Bolt, you know,
Mm.
as a bowler in New Zealand. I think he's pretty skillful in T20 and any format he plays, basically.
Good choices, and there is nothing wrong with being biased. What's your go-to Trini dish to celebrate a win?
Um, I like maybe a pilau or traditional macaroni pie and stewed chicken and stuff like that.
Good food. What's your favorite thing to do when you're not playing cricket?
Just, you know, hang out with friends basically. You know, these guys back home, they keep me grounded. Yeah, just hang out with friends, play some cards, play some games. I also play, you know, video games with my girlfriend. You know, she's into COD. We play a lot of Call of Duty online and stuff, even with her little sister. So, you know, that takes a lot of my stress away, you know, just spending time with her over the phone and stuff like that when I'm away. So yeah.
Good. If you could swap jerseys with any cricketer after a match, who would it be and why?
If you're referring to now or past or
Any past, present, totally up to you.
I think if they are great would be, you know, Sachin Tendulkar. Obviously getting his jersey would be amazing.
Like that. All right. Well, that wraps our quick fire round. But before I let you go, if you could tell your younger self something right here, right now, what would you tell him?
Um, you know, just trust the process. I mean, everything did really work out, you know. You don't see into the future, but you know, just being consistent and, you know, having faith in time and God, you know, everything did work out. So I'm really happy that it did and I didn't give up.
I love that. I think your younger self would appreciate that so, so much.
Yeah.
Navin, thank you so much for joining me today on Between the Wickets. And to our audiences, if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the episode. Until next time, I'm Krystal Ramroop. See you on the pitch.